The same thing is happened. Now the deputy has to follow the same route. And if you realize in every, maybe the Tanga movement that was perceived, whatever he talks is big for agenda. He was recently in Meru.
Yes.
He was in Embu over the weekend. What did he do? He was launching projects, and that is the mandate of the deputy. He's the principal assistant of the president. Remember that. President has more time. If you realize the president has a lot of national issues to sort as compared to the deputy, because for him he has to solve the issues in the State House, policy work, assign other things. If you realize he didn't go for the AU mission, he sent the Honorable CS, Monica Juma, and he's still around. Who is the one to go to Mashinani? The deputy president. What does he talk about? He talks about what are you going to develop. He went and launched KMTC.
So are you saying there's nothing wrong with him multitasking? I mean,
that is his responsibility.
Okay.
If you go by the actually, is the deputy president as a principal assistant of the president. Imagine, it could be the president now going everywhere.
So then why are people on his case for campaigning for 2022? If he's still doing his job and campaigning at the same time, what's the issue?
When the target is so sweet, huh? Yeah, that is the point. It's like, let me give a good example of a social aspect of when a man or a group of men want to hit on a lady, they'll see this is a target. You see? We'll have to scaffold. By the time you reach over that position, you know, men have already teared their coats, their shirts, their t-shirts and everything. So it emerges, whoever emerges strong is the one who will take over actually the position. That's the same thing that happens now. Remember, it's only the deputy president who has made it clear that will be in the ballot. The other fellow people that are still weighing. Even now, if you realize who is sure that Raila will be in the ballot. But by the premise of the issues and the history, he might be there. So, it's a tit for tat. Let the game continue.
All right. Let's talk about policy now that you've mentioned policy. There was a report, sometime last week from the Commission on Revenue Allocation, the chairperson, that is Jane Kiringo, and she talked about how 11 billion shillings for development cash has been idle in the poor counties. So now they formed this equalization fund. However, it's being opposed because governors are saying that now the marginalized counties have been changed from 14 to 34 of them. What do you think about this new sharing formula for the equalization fund? And is it policies that have caused this money to stay idle in these counties?
That's the point. I've been insisting all over, wherever even I have a talk with my fellow colleagues and fellow maybe politicians all over where they are, county heads and leaders. One thing that we have an issue that even I'm happy that the president was working on was the issue of policies. We have the money allocated. Maybe let's say, for example, Marsabit, Mandera, and everywhere. They usually get a large sum of money, like Turkana. I think Turkana County is the second highest county after Nairobi. Is that now you're given like 20 billion for certain financial year. But now the problem, when it goes to the county, you have to spend this as per the policy and the budgets.
Oh no.
The problem is in our actually county assemblies. They don't implement. They can create a policy. Implementation is an issue because of the struggles.
But where is this money helping, and where is it being kept? Whooping 11 billion shillings just idling for 3 years.
No, the thing is this. The budget process is this way. Treasury, actually the county assembly proposes the budget for the year. They send it to the CC of the county. The CC of the county now represent the governor at the treasury by providing now the budget for the country, for the county. Now the treasury is now the one to allocate. Then all this money is not actually released at a go. It is in phases. Phase 1, that's why you usually see a daily saying that maybe Wasingishu, Nairobi County, Tharaka Nithi has been released this certain amount of money. So they have to spend as per the requisite. But now the problem is some money are being actually set aside. Let's say, for example, Marsabit is one meant for hunger and air relief. But if there's no good policy at the county to allow the release at maybe expenditure at the source, it can't be spent. Because remember, Mr. Oko is there with the auditors general, the auditors team. How can you spend without having approved that this is supposed to be spent at this? If you say you want to buy this phone at maybe 1 million, we have to have maybe a proposal budget saying that the actual budget for phones maximum is 1 million or maximum is 1.2. You see, that's the other problem. I was happy when I saw the president last week on Thursday signing that bill, the equalization fund. It will now trigger the county people for these 5 years to work on something.
So why are people opposing it? Why are the governors opposing it?
The governors oppose because reluctancy from the governor side due to the MCs and the policy making angle of the counties.
If this money is not helping anybody, why would they be opposed to it being used?
You know,
and what is the issue with the CAR adding like 20 more marginalized counties, because they are there?
Maybe I can say the CRA, that is the CRA, the allocation team, commission, maybe for the last 5 years, they had their facts right. They gathered well. They've seen the ups and downs for the last 5 years, the first term of implementation of the county government. And remember, still, we have to accept that as a country, we are still developing the two regional of government, the county government and the national government. At the same time, you have some rules that have been cascaded to the county government, like health, but still, national government still has actually a clip. And all this is actually policies. We need to now to encourage our MCAs, our leaders, national leaders, senators, to have right policies in place to help to manage. But the problem is the fights are there. Maybe a certain governor is being fought by the same MCAs. No, or the governor, you have a good proposal, the MCA say, you know what, because you fixed it somewhere, let us fix you now. That's the reason why the president and the team, and that is a good way by the political advisors and the advisors actually at the president's office, having a good way to decide now, let's have this policy. And thank you to the MPs. They did a good job. They said now, let's have equalization fund, let's now help the 190, the common 190.
Yeah.
That means that will be coming from the treasury directly.
All right, let me ask you, being as young as you are and still as knowledgeable as you are, which of the big four agenda for you stands out the most and you'd like to see accomplished before 2022 as a parting shot?
The big four, the best one is the development of infrastructure. That comes again to housing.
Yes.
When you have the right infrastructure in place, health will be sorted. Issues of agriculture will be sorted because we get our produce from the mashinani, gets directly to the market. The same road will help now issue of healthcare. Nowadays we have a problem. That's the reason why the president and the team, they like to get some more advanced 4-wheel vehicles and everything now to be helping the people from mashinani because of poor roads, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, coming to the issue of housing, when you have the right housing and the right health, things will be okay. So the thing is this, in fact, the big four agenda was a precedence of whatever was done 5 years ago. The reason why people say, oh, the country is indulging to a lot of debts is everything. In any development, we have to spend more than to reap. So imagine you're going to maybe to construct a house. You don't get it's like a liability, but we'll get the facts later or the benefits after now getting it work done. Example is Thika Road. We're having now Outer Ring Road in Nairobi. We're having now the Lamu. Now we're having the Isiolo. The other time was in stretching from Isiolo to Ethiopia. Things are getting clear.
It seems you and the president have been having conversations behind closed doors, because he recently signed the appropriation bill, which is to deal with that. 1.4 trillion shillings has been allocated to public goods and services delivery in terms of infrastructure. So we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for coming today, Brian.
I appreciate it.
Yes. You have been watching Youth and Politics. I am Hilda Wadidi. Do not touch that dial. Valentine is coming up next with Man Crush Mondays.